Here it is, the holiday time, as I said at the beginning of the program. And pretty soon it will be the time of Epiphany. And that's the end of the whole Christmas holiday period. And in some countries down in the Mediterranean, particularly in the southern countries, Epiphany is the time when you get the presents, when the kids get their gifts. And there's a nice story that goes with that. Folk tale that's told down in Sicily. It'll only take a minute if you don't mind. Maybe you haven't heard it. It's about Befana, and she's the one, the old witch, the old lady, who brings the presents to the kids. She lived in a small town, a village, a couple of thousand years ago, and she was house proud. She was a spinster. She's very proud of her house. She kept it beautifully, everything just so, everything in place. And she lived alone in that house. And one night, she took her jugs and mugs and things down to the well in the little village to fill them. There was a big crowd there. Everybody in the village was there because there were strangers in the town. 3 very dignified foreigners were watering their camels at the well. And Befana, the old lady, asked what they were doing, and one of them explained that they were going on a long journey, that they'd come from the east, and they were following a star. They were going to bring gifts to the child Jesus. She asked if she could come with them, and they said, yes, of course. And she ran back to her house in order to close it up and make things right, neat and tidy before she went. And because she was house proud, she couldn't bear to leave it just like that, so she left it a little better than that. And by the time she had bolted up the last bolt and had finally turned her back on the house she was so proud of, Befana realized that time was slipping by. It slipped by quicker than she thought, and when she got to the well, the 3 strangers were gone. She looked up in the sky for the star they'd been following, and she couldn't pick it out. And no one could tell her in what direction the 3 people had gone. So she went slowly back to her home, but she found she was no longer proud of it. She no longer loved it very much, and so she started on a journey. A very long journey, and she's been on that journey ever since, according to this old tale. And wherever she goes, everywhere in the world, whenever she meets a child, she gives the child a present, a gift, because she always lives with the hope that someday it will turn out that her gift is for the promised one, whom the 3 kings were following by the light of the star. That's the story of Epiphany and Befana in particular. And now it is time for me to say goodnight. And it has been great fun doing this show for Ed Sullivan, and I have good news for you. He'll be back next week, and I'll be with you at home watching him. Until then, I remain as always obediently yours.